I'm putting the prayers on the screen for everybody's benefit. So please feel free to recite with me. Again, Mangalacharan prayers are the prayers that invoke auspiciousness before any endeavor. So before we start the class, we pray to their lordships and to all their devotees and disciples that please give us the correct understanding of Bhagavad Gita, and we hear the Bhagavad Gita with proper submissive mood of surrender, and may this knowledge manifest in our heart. So let's start with the prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Prapad Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Raghunathan Vitam Satam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Devam
Radha
Shri Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padam
Padam
Shri
Sahagana
Krishna
Lalita Shri Advaita Cha
He Krishna Karuna
Karuna
Sindhu
Sindhu
Dinabandhu Jagatpate
Jagatpate
Gopesha
Gopesh
Gopika
Gopika
Kanta
Kanta
Radha
Radha
Namostute
Kanta Namostute
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi
Gaurangi
Radhe
Radha
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Bhanu Sute
Vishvanu
Devi
Sudevi
Pranamani Hari
Pranamani Hari
Panchakaltarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Pavinebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Namah
Jai Shri Krishna
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda Shri
Nityananda
Advaita
Shri
Gadadhara
Advaita
Shri Vasadi
Gadadhara
Gaur
Shivasadi
Bhaktivinoda
Gaur Bhaktivinoda
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna
Adaya
Prishthaya
Krishna
Bhutale
Prasthaya
Shri
Bhutale
Madhveti Vedanta
Srimati
Swami Iti Namine
Swami
Namaste
Namine
Saraswati Deve
Namaste Saraswati
Gauravani
Devi Gauri
Pracharine
Vani Pracharine
Shrisha Shunyavadi
Shunyavadi
Vachakradesh
Tarine
Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim
Jayati
yatkrapatam vande Shri
Girim
Guru Dinaranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Paramananda
Ishwaram
Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram
Gurve Gaura Chandraya
Gaurachandraya
Radhikaya
Radhikaya
Tadalaya
Tadalaya
Krishnaya Krishna
Krishna
Bhaktaya
Bhaktaya
Tadbhaktaya Namo
Tadbhaktaya
Namaha
Namo
Hare
Namaha
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Krishna. So, Namita Mataji very nicely mentioned that in the last few verses, Krishna was telling Arjun about the benefits of fighting in this war. Okay. Arjun did not want to fight, so he gave many reasons in chapter 1 and the first few verses of chapter 2. He gave 5 main reasons of not fighting. I will not review those again. I think we have revised them many, many times. Whenever we do like some kind of exam or quiz, I will ask those reasons, the 5 main reasons that Arjun gave to not fight. Okay, there are 5 reasons and we should know them by heart. Then after that, Krishna started convincing Arjun. Okay, the first concept or principle that Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2 when he started speaking, first of all, he chastised Arjun. Okay, in a few verses, he chastised Arjun. He basically became angry, or not angry, but he admonished Arjun for this miser. He called it miserly behavior. He said this is a very cowardly. This is a very a cowardly behavior. It does not befit a man of his stature, a man of his intelligence. And Aryan, who is of the topmost consciousness, a devotee who is so advanced, so learned, who is so learned in spiritual, in adhyatmic gyan, in spiritual knowledge, how can he speak like this? You're speaking like a Shudra. So he called it a Shudra mentality. He called it weakness of heart, Hriday Dorbalyam. Okay, how has this weakness of heart has come upon you? First of all, you are a Mataji, I'll share the slide in 1 second. I'm just covering the previous concept. So he admonished Arjun. He called him weak. He called him very moork, very foolish. Okay, despite being learned, speaking like a learned person, he's actually speaking very foolish philosophy. Okay. So then he started refuting all the excuses that Arjun gave one by one. The first thing, the first principle, please remember the flow of Bhagavad Gita, the way we are going. The first thing Krishna said is called Sankhya Yoga. Okay. Sankhya Yoga means analytical study of matter versus spirit, meaning the qualities or the differences between matter and spirit. Okay, what are the qualities of spirit soul? He told Arjun that you are not this body, you are not the matter, you are the spirit soul. So he gave the difference or complete descriptive study, complete analytical study of soul, of spirit. Okay. So he gave differences between matter and spirit. Matter can be destroyed, it can be transformed, it is changeable, it degrades, but soul does not degrade. It cannot be cut, it cannot be moistened, it cannot be withered, it cannot be burnt. So many things, so many qualities he gave. And he kept repeating himself in many verses. He gave characteristics or the qualities of the soul. Okay, so that part of Bhagavad Gita is called Sankhya Yoga. So first of all, he established the identity of Arjuna or of us, of Jiva, that Jiva is not this body, Jiva is the soul, and the soul is right now trapped within the body. So that is why we are called embodied soul or a Dehi, Shariri, which means a soul that is trapped in the body for the time being. Body is Nashwar, body can be destroyed, but soul is not destroyed. Soul will accept another body once this body is destroyed. This portion of Bhagavad Gita is called Sankhya Yoga. Then he moved on to the next concept. Arjun was looking at this situation as a lose-lose situation, okay? That in whether I win or whether I lose this war, in both cases, I will lose. If I win this war, I will not be able to enjoy. I will get sin because I killed all these people. There will be so much destruction in the community. So many family traditions will be lost. I will be blamed for this, all this. So he was considering this a loss. This battle, even if I win this battle, it will be a big loss, okay, for everyone and for me. And if I lose this war, then anyways I'm losing. So he said, what is the point of fighting in this war? I would rather not fight. So he did not want to fight in this war. He was calling it a lose-lose scenario. But now Krishna told him that this is not a lose-lose scenario. This is actually a win-win situation. So this is what Namita Mataji was talking about, that Krishna now started listing the benefits of fighting in this war. Okay, now I'll share that slide I had. So Arjun was saying, look at the right side. Arjun was saying, I will not fight because I will get, there will be a lot of problems with fighting, so I will not fight. Krishna said, actually, if you fight, this is a win-win situation, because even if you lose in this battle, since this is a dharmic war, there will be no consequences. You will still enjoy in heaven, because a Kshatriya who loses in a righteous battle, in a dharmic war, still goes to heaven, still enjoys heavenly abode. So even if you lose in this battle by fighting it, if you still lose, it's fine. You will go to heavenly abode. And if you win in this battle, you will enjoy this kingdom. You will be able to do so many good deeds for this kingdom. You will be able to establish dharma. You will be able to represent your righteous dharmic brother, Dharmaraj Yudhishthir. So you will be enjoying this kingdom. So either way, there is no loss. If you fight in this battle, whether you win or lose, it's a win-win situation. You will get benefits either way. But if you do not fight, if you, as the initial decision of Arjun was to not fight, so Krishna says, if you do not fight, that is going to be a big problem, because then you will get infamy, akirti, like Mataji was saying, word akirti. You will get akirti. People will saying ahit. People that do not want your hit, they will say bad words, critical words about you. They will call you names. They will use bad names about you. They will call you a coward. Okay, and you will get sin. Okay, so materially and spiritually speaking, both ways you will be destroyed if you do not fight in this war, because it is a great sin for a Kshatriya to run away from battlefield. From a righteous battle, he should not run away. So you will get sin, you will incur sin by not fighting in this war. And you will also get material problems, because all these people will make fun of you. You will go down in the history as a coward, as somebody who ran away from the battlefield, and somebody who was very fearful. They will say that you ran away because you were fearful of losing. They will not say that you renounced the battle. They will say that you were afraid of fighting. You were scared of fighting. That's why you ran away. So they will call you all these inglorious names. Okay, they will do your ninda. So Krishna showed him that by not fighting, it's a very bad situation for him, both spiritually and materially. But by fighting, whether he wins or loses, it's a win-win situation. Now, this principle, okay, so the first principle was Sankhya Yoga. This second principle that Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, this is called Sakam Karma. Okay, this concept is called sakam karma. Sakam karma means when we do something for some personal gain, for some fruitive result. मेरा क्या फायदा, अगर मैं ये करूं तो क्या फायदा, क्या नुकसान. When we analyze the risk and benefits, when we analyze the profits or losses, when we analyze what is my personal gain, what is my fruitive benefits or fruitive results from certain work, and only then we do that work, it's called sakam karma. Okay, so in sakam karma the intention is to enjoy the result of an action. Okay, that is called sakam karma. So this is the second concept of Bhagavad Gita that Krishna talks about. This is called sakam karma. And we also discussed that this is not the highest teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Since we are very focused on the results of the action, this is a very low principle. This is a very substandard teaching, but it might appeal to certain people. So Krishna is saying to Arjun, if you are that kind of person who likes to analyze the benefits and losses, the good and the bad of a work, then even by that consideration, it's best for you to fight. So even by the principle of sakam karma, it is in your favor to fight. It is a win-win situation if you fight this battle. Whether you win or lose, you will get good results only. So if you're focused on, if your intention is to get good results, then by fighting in this battle, you will actually get good results. So this concept is called sakam karma. Okay. Now, from this next verse, 2.38, we are moving to the next principle. We are climbing up the yoga ladder. Okay. We are going to the higher principle of Bhagavad Gita. Like I said, this sakam karma was a lower principle. Now we are going to the next principle, which is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, or also famously known as Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga. That principle is a higher principle. This is the essence of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. This is actually in the first few chapters. Karma Yoga is a very important topic. Um, and Nishkam Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga basically means when one is working in a selfless way, not desiring any personal gain or fruitive benefits from the action, but rather working for this as a sense of duty, with a sense of detachment, just doing your job with a sense of duty, with a sense of detachment, with a sense of renunciation. You are not so focused on the results. Okay, you give up the results. You're not, your intention is not to enjoy the results. You're not doing it for personal sense gratification or personal gains. Okay, when that is not a consideration, you do the job because you're supposed to do the job, because that's your duty, with a sense of duty, in a with a spirit of renunciation or spirit of detachment. When you do a job, a work, that is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, we'll dissect this term more. Nishkam Karma means selfless work, and yoga means to connect to the Lord through that selfless work. Okay, so when you perform selfless work without consideration of the result, with the intention to please the Lord, it becomes Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, the only intention with that work is to please or to satisfy the Supreme Person or to satisfy a superior authority, then that work becomes Nishkam Karma Yoga. So that concept will start now. So let's read some verses and purports. We'll start from 2.38. We'll lead and follow.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Mataji.
Um, so I just heard what you said. Um, do you mean to say that we should do our duty in a way for Krishna, or do we do the duty for our boss? Like, what do you actually mean? Do we do it for God, or do we do it selflessly for our boss? You know what I
mean? So when we say yoga, yoga means connecting with the Lord, connecting with the God. So we are saying selfless work for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Okay. If you say to work for the boss, the problem that with that concept is that the boss can have some consideration of personal gain. Like boss will say, okay, do something corrupt or something fraudulent. Okay, you're not going to just do it, right? Because you understand that is not that will not satisfy the Supreme Lord. So boss may ask you to do something which may not be in line with the satisfaction of Supreme. right? Not in line with the satisfaction of your guru or of your senior spiritually advanced people. It may not be in line with the scriptures. So you're not going to do it just because it will satisfy the boss. So when we say personal gain, satisfaction of boss is also sort of personal gain, right? Because boss will now be pleased with me and will give me promotion or will give me higher salary or will give me some benefits in something, right?
Right.
So that is also an advanced sense gratification only. That is also an extended sense gratification only. So
Okay.
when we say, so nishkam karm can be selfless work or work in sacrifice, but then some person can say, I do selfless work because I work for my country. I do selfless work because I work for my community. But Prabhupada often says in his purport that even working for your country or community or something like that is also actually extended sense gratification only.
Right.
Because a country or a community or these groups of higher groups of people are ultimately people with lower consciousness. And they may make bad decisions. And if you're just working for their benefit, you may be just working for extended sense gratification. Okay.
Right.
So the goal is to please the Supreme. What will make him happy? If
Right.
you're working for your boss, you're working for your country, you're working for your community, is in line with satisfaction of Supreme, satisfaction of the senses of Supreme, then it will be called yoga. Otherwise, it will not connect you to Supreme. Otherwise, it will not be yoga. It will just be bhoga. It is just extended bhoga. Okay. But
So
Mataji, I'm
what?
just introducing the concept. Because we have to read the verses. That's why we're going to, this is just an introduction to the
Okay.
concept. We
I
have
understand.
not understood the concept fully at all. So let's see if the end of the session, you still have those questions. Just hold on to those for now and let's read. This is
Yeah.
just an introduction to an entry into the concept that Krishna is now describing. So let's hear his description and Prabhupada's explanation of those descriptions. Okay.
Okay. I understand. Thank you.
Okay. So let's start. 2.38. Sukha dukhe same kritva. Please follow. Sukha
दुःखे
dukhe same
समीकृत्वा
लाभालाभौ जया जयो
लाभालाभजयाजयो
ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व
ततो
ततो
युद्धाय युज्यस्व
नैवं पापम् अवाप्स्यसि
नैव पापम् अवाप्स्यसि.
Let's read the, can somebody read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, I can do.
Yes.
Do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin. Mataji, continue on purport also.
Let me just look at the Sanskrit here. So when we are
Okay.
reading Bhagavad Gita, we are looking at everything. We are looking at the Sanskrit, we are looking at translation, at the purport, we are looking at the flow of Bhagavad Gita. We are really, delving into the beauty of the words of Krishna. Okay. So let's look at some Sanskrit. So Krishna says, Sukhe dukhe, Sukha dukhe. Okay. Labha alabha, Jaya ajaya. So Sukha dukha means happiness or distress. Labh, alabh means profit or loss. Labh means profit or benefits. Alabh means loss. Jaya, ajaya. Jaya means victory. Ajaya means defeat. Okay. So these are just Krishna is giving example of some of the results that are possible by doing an action. So when you do some action, you may get sukh or dukh, you may get labh or alabh, you may get jaya or ajay. Same kritva. Same. I found this word very interesting because same in English it's read as same. So same means to stay same or equanimous. Equanimity. Prabhupada is translating it as equanimous, to stay same. Okay. Same ka matlab hai same rehna in all these situations. So you do your work because result is not in your control. So you may get these different type of results. Whatever result you get, stay same or stay equanimous in those situations. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Okay. Fight for the sake of fighting. So in case of Arjun, his duty is to fight. In your case, it may be something else. Like in case of a mother, it may be, let's say, cooking in the kitchen. It may, in case of a doctor, it may be seeing the patients. In case of a lawyer, it may be fighting case for his client. So whatever your, in case of a teacher, they have to go to the school every day and teach the student. So whatever your duty is, do it for the sake of doing that duty. Tato yudhaya yujyasva, because this duty has been assigned to you, right? You have been trained up to do this duty. You have the skill set to do this duty. You have been trained, you have been brought up into it. And this duty, this particular obligation, this particular responsibility has now been assigned to you. Okay, so do that duty for the sake of doing it. And don't worry what results you get, because those results are not in your hands. Let's say I'm a doctor. It's in my hands to treat the patient, but it's not, but the result, whether that patient's disease goes away or not, is not in my hand. I can just do my best possible for the patient. So do your best possible. In case of a teacher, it's just, they can only do their best by teaching to the student. But if the student is not listening, it's not, and not reading at home, not, putting their effort, that's beyond the teacher's control. So if the student still fails, really it's beyond the teacher's control. She tried her best to teach as much as possible, but the other student may get good grades and this one student may fail. So the results are not in your hands. Okay, so that's why stay same, do your duty with proper diligence, with due diligence, knowing that this is your responsibility, it's your obligation to do that duty properly. So fight for the sake of fighting. In case of Arjun, Naivam papam avapsasi. Naivam, in this way. Evam means in this way. In this way, if you work, na papam avapsasi, you will not get any sin. You will not get any reaction, basically. Papam means any kind of reaction. You will not get any reaction. You will be beyond any karmic reactions or sinful reactions if you work in this way. So this should be the spirit of renunciation, spirit of detachment, or spirit of duty, sense of duty with which one should do their work. Not focusing, not that, okay, this project I'm going to give my best, because if I do best in this project, my boss will be so pleased and they will give me a raise or promotion. But other projects, boss is not so concerned about that, so it's okay, I can relax. No, give your due diligence, do your best in each and every project, in each and every job, in each and every duty that has been assigned to you. Do your due diligence. So this is what Krishna is saying, fight for the sake of fighting. And in this way, if you work, you shall never incur sin, and stay equanimous, stay same, same kritva, stay equanimous, whatever result you get. Don't be so concerned about the result. Now let's read Prabhupada's purport. Mataji, please go ahead. You don't have to read Sanskrit of this verse, you can just continue with the English.
Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or loss, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna is transcendental consciousness, so there is no reaction to the material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification either is goodness or in passion is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who has completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, his nor is he a debater to anyone as one is in the ordinary course of activity. It is said, anyone who has completely surrendered unto Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all duties, is no longer a debater, nor
Debtor.
debtor,
Debt basically means he does not owe any debt to anyone if he works in this
nor is he obliged to anyone, nor the demigods, nor the sages, nor the people in general, nor kinsmen, nor humanity, nor forefathers. That is the direct hint given by Krishna to Arjuna in this verse, and the matter will be more clearly explained in the following verses. Haribol.
very bold. So basically, just want to draw your attention to, we'll continue reading, but I just want to draw your attention to a couple of lines here. Prabhupada says that if you work for your own sense gratification, then you are subject to the reaction, good or bad, right? So you will get some reaction. Even if you do some pious work, you will get good reaction. If you do something, some impious, some fraudulent, some corrupt work, you're lying, you're cheating, you're whatever, exploiting people, so then you will get bad results. So you will get good or bad results based on your karma. So, but either way, you will get results. And we don't want to get either good or bad results. So the only way to not get any results, any reactions, any karmic reactions is to work in Krishna consciousness by completely surrendering yourself to the will, to the desire of Krishna. Then you will be freed from all kinds of reactions. So the concept to understand here is we don't want bad reactions. Everybody knows that, because that's sinful reactions, and sinful reactions means very negative reactions, which means you will get some bad results in future. You will have to tolerate some bad reactions in the future. So everybody knows we don't want bad reactions, negative reactions. But Prabhupada is saying we don't want good reactions either. We don't want any pious reactions either. Why? Because even if you get some pious results, you did some pious activity, you did something good for somebody, but you did not do it in Krishna consciousness. You just did good for your personal aggrandizement, for your personal gratification. Okay, if I give this charity, everybody will glorify me, I will get so much name and fame, and my a picture and name will be plastered all over the town because I'm doing so good for so many people. So with that intention, with that motivation of name, fame, and all this, if you do some good action also, then you will get good results. But the problem with that concept is you will have to come back to um, to uh, to tolerate, you can say, these good results. So for example, if you did a lot of charity in this life, right, you accumulated a lot of good karmic reactions, then you will have to still come back in next birth to get those good results. Now you will get a high birth, maybe a very good body, maybe you will be born in a very rich family, maybe you will be very successful in future life, so you will get all good results in future life. But you will have to take a birth to enjoy those good results that you accumulated. So we actually want to work in such a way that we do not accumulate either good or bad reactions, because you will have to come back to enjoy the good reactions, and you will also have to come back to tolerate the bad reactions or the negative reactions. So that is the theory of the karma, the law of karma, where whatever action you do, whether good or bad, you get good or bad results respectively. We should be engaged in what is called action in Krishna consciousness, or akarma, which means there is no good or bad results, there is no reaction at all, because the action is done to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Such an action does not entail any good or bad results. So Prabhupada is also citing a verse as an evidence of this, that such a person is freed from any obligation or any debt to anyone. They are not indebted to any Devi, Devtas or sages or their forefathers. They're freed from all kinds of debts and all kinds of reactions. And that's the goal of human life, to become freed from reactions, not to become entangled more in good and bad reactions. We don't want either good or bad reactions. We don't want more debts on us. We want to be freed from all kinds of debts and all kinds of good and bad reactions. So that is the goal of human life. So we should work in such a way that we get freed from good and bad reactions, because whatever reaction you get, it's a chain that binds you. It may be a golden chain if it's a good reaction, or it may be an iron chain if it is a bad reaction. But either way, you are getting entangled, you are getting bound in material world if you have to keep coming back. So we don't want any good or bad reactions. I know there may be many questions coming to you. Please just jot them down in your notebook or Bhagavad Gita, but let's keep reading, because some of those questions will get clarified by Krishna and by Prabhupada. Let's read the next verse, 2.39. Esha te abhihita sankhe,
Esha te abhiyata sankhe,
buddhir yoge tva imam shrinu, buddhir
yoge tvimam shinu,
buddhaya yukto yaya partha,
buddhaya yukto yaya partha,
karma bandham prahasyasi, karma
karma
bandham
bandham
prahasyasi.
parahasyati.
Okay, can somebody read this?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can read.
Yes.
Translation. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Hare
Very
Krishna.
good. Let me just look at the Sanskrit very quick. So Krishna says, Esha te abhihita sankhya. Abhihita means I have described Sankhya Yoga to you. So we already discussed this, that Krishna described the knowledge, analytical study or descriptive study of spirit versus soul, or analytical study of soul is called Sankhya Yoga. So Krishna says, so far I have described the Sankhya Yoga to you. Imam Shrunu. Now I will explain to you, please hear from me, about Buddhi Yoga. Okay, I'll explain to you about Buddhi Yoga. Buddhaya yukto yaya partha. If you work in this way, so Krishna is going to teach us something called Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga basically means working in Krishna consciousness, working for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord. So if you work in this way, Buddhaya yukto, your intelligence is completely absorbed in this type of yoga, in this type of connection with me, where you work for me. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Then all your working in this way, all your karma bandhan. Because remember, karma, every action you do causes bandhan. So that karma bandhan will be released. If you work for my satisfaction, all good and bad bondages that you get, chains that you're bound in, whether good or bad chains, prahasyasi, they will be broken. You will be released from all kinds of material bondage caused by the karma. Okay. So Krishna is saying work in this way. In which way? By the process of Buddhi Yoga. So let's see what that is. Mataji, please continue reading.
Hare Krishna. According to Nirukti or Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes things in detail, and Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. And yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjun's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins and brothers, the son of Dhritarashtra. In both ways, the basic principles were for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive are both on the basis of personal sense gratification, even at a sacrifice of wisdom and duty. Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjun that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper, and he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. They were individuals in the past, they are individuals in the present, and they will continue to remain individuals in the future because all of us are individual souls eternally. We simply change our bodily dress in different manners, but actually we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by Lord Krishna. And this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision has been described here as Sankhya in terms of Nirukta dictionary.
Mataji, will stop here.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is Prabhupada is saying, talking about Sankhya Yoga, which we understand is the analytical study of the soul. The only thing I want to point out here is Prabhupada is saying that Arjuna was very worried about his personal happiness or distress. So when he was analyzing the whole situation, whether he should fight or not, throughout he was just worried about personal gains and losses. So this mentality of personal gain or losses, what will happen if I win the war? What will happen if I lose the war? I won't be able to enjoy. I'll get sin. All this was very personal, a very self-centered type of thought process. So here the basis was always personal sense gratification. Whether he was even though he was sacrificing the war, it was not really a true sacrifice because it was done for his own sense gratification. So the basis was always personal sense gratification. Okay. So this does not help. Prabhupada said this is very low class mentality. But most of the individuals, most of the people are working in this world on the basis of personal sense gratification only. Whenever they do some job, whenever they undertake some kind of work or some kind of activity or karma or project, they always look for only personal sense gratification. So maximum people in this world are working on this principle of personal sense gratification, okay, under the spell of Maya, under the spell of material energy or inferior energy of the Lord. They think themselves as enjoyers, and this is the principle on which they work. This is what Arjun was showing us. So that's why Arjun was acting like a very ordinary person in the beginning of this Bhagavad Gita. He was acting like a very common man, like an everyday man. 99.9% of people act in this way, and he was acting like them. That's why Krishna had chastised him, because that was not befitting of a advanced spiritualist or a Kshatriya or a Vaishnav. He should not behave like this. I'm going to skip this paragraph because Prabhupada is talking about an alternate Sankhya philosophy, since it will just, I think it's not very, it will not add very much to your understanding for now. So let's go to these last two paragraphs. Anyone wants to read from here? Arjuna? Who wants to read next?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna has already accepted Krishna as his spiritual master by surrendering himself unto him. Sisya te ham sadhi mam tvam prapannam. Consequently, Krishna will now tell him about the working process in Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga, or in other words, the practice of devotional service only for the sense gratification of the Lord. This Buddhi Yoga is clearly explained in chapter 10, verse 10, as being direct communion with the Lord, who is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart. But each communion does not take place without devotional service. One who is therefore situated in devotional or transcendental loving service to the Lord, or in other words, in Krishna consciousness, attains to this stage of Buddhi Yoga by the special grace of the Lord. The Lord says, therefore, that only to those who are already always engaged in devotional service out of transcendental love does He award the pure knowledge of devotion in love. In that way, the devotee can reach Him easily in the ever blissful kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, let's read this last paragraph also.
All right. One should therefore understand that Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness in the full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. One who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work may be, is working under the principles of Buddhi Yoga and find himself always in transcendental bliss. By such transcendental engagement, one achieves all transcendental understanding automatically by the grace of the Lord, and thus his liberation is complete in itself, without his making extraneous endeavors to acquire knowledge. There is much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi Yoga is therefore the transcendental quality of the work that we perform.
Haribol.
Haribol.
So I just want to tell you that when we talk about yoga ladder, okay, next time I'll show you a picture of yoga ladder. So yoga ladder means there are certain yogas, so we can connect to Krishna. So yoga means, so remember the word yoga means connection to Krishna, okay, connecting to Lord, connecting to Supreme Lord is called yoga, okay. Now yoga, you can connect to Krishna through your work, okay, by doing everything, all your work for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, that is called karma yoga, okay. When you connect to Krishna through knowledge, that is called Gyan Yoga. When you connect to Krishna through meditation, it's called Dhyan Yoga. But the highest in the yoga ladder, the topmost in the yoga ladder is connecting to Krishna through love. Okay. So that is called Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Gita covers all these 4 types of yogas. Okay, the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is given in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, from chapter 7 to 12 talk about Bhakti Yoga. The last 6 chapters talk about Jnana Yoga. From chapter 13 to 18 talk about Jnana Yoga. The first few chapters talk about Karma Yoga. We are already talking about it, okay? And this will be further explained more in chapter 3 and chapter 5, okay? Action and Krishna consciousness. Both chapter 2, 3, and 5, they all talk about Karma Yoga. Chapter 6 will talk about Dhyana Yoga, okay? Connecting to Krishna through meditation. Bhakti Yoga is considered the topmost, and it encompasses all these other types of yogas. When one is in love with Krishna, when one is connecting to Krishna with the feelings of love, they want to satisfy him as one tries to satisfy their loved one, then they not only work for his satisfaction, they don't not only meditate on him with pure love, okay, they also acquire knowledge only for the satisfaction of Krishna. So they use all these other yoga systems in love for Krishna. They use all these other systems of yoga in ascending to the level of bhakti yoga. So everything becomes love. Okay, everything becomes bhakti when one does with the feeling of not just duty, not just detachment, but for love of Krishna, then everything becomes bhakti yoga. This concept you will see, it will come in future verses, future chapters, but you will see in Prabhupada's purport, Prabhupada will keep talking about Bhakti Yoga, because a devotee, whenever they are even working for Krishna, they do so with the feeling of love. They do so when they want to satisfy him, they want to satisfy him as one tries to satisfy their loved one. Okay, like a mother tries to satisfy their child without any hope for any result, without any intention to get something in return from the child. They just completely surrender themselves to the will, to the desire of the child. They just try to satisfy them completely, even if there are some difficulties in that path, even if they have to wake up in the night, they go and change the baby's nappy, right? They cook, even the kitchen is very hot, even though it's very it's burning hot summers, they still cook in the kitchen just for satisfying their family, because they love their family, they love their husband, their child. So they are acting out of pure love for their loved ones. Similarly, a devotee, whatever work they do, whatever meditation they do, whatever knowledge they acquire, they do so with the feeling of love and satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. And so everything for a devotee becomes Bhakti Yoga. And Prabhupada will keep repeating this concept. So I don't want you to get confused between these different types of yogas. Now, the term Buddhi Yoga, please hear very carefully, because this is chapter 2, chapter 3, and 5 are a little bit intricate. Chapter 4 is easy, but chapter 2, 3, and 5 are a little bit technical. So please hear very carefully. If you're just hearing it on the side, you may miss some of the concepts. So please pay attention. This word Buddhi Yoga is only mentioned in 3 verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Buddhi Yoga as such is not a type of yoga. Okay, please understand this. So if somebody asks you, where is Buddhi Yoga in the yoga ladder? Buddhi Yoga does not appear in the yoga ladder. Okay, Buddhi Yoga is just a term to explain to Arjuna. Buddhi Yoga's definition will keep changing also. Okay, there are 3 verses in which Buddhi Yoga is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. This is the verse. Then there will be a verse in 10th chapter, 10.10. Many of you may know that verse because it is a key verse of Bhagavad Gita. It is called Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita. So 10.10 mentions Buddhi Yoga. Dadami Buddhi Yogam tam yen mam upayantite. Krishna mentions Buddhi Yoga then. And then in 18th chapter again, Krishna mentions Buddhi Yoga. The definition of Buddhi Yoga will change in those further verses, in those further chapters. In this particular verse, the definition of Buddhi Yoga is acting or working for Krishna. Okay, so basically engaging your intelligence in working for Krishna, using your intelligence in such a way that it connects you to Krishna. That is called Buddhi Yoga. You can use that definition at any point of time. Always use your intelligence, God-given intelligence, in connecting to Krishna, in engaging your work in satisfaction for the Supreme is called Buddhi Yoga. Now, I want to draw your attention to some of the lines that Prabhupada has used. So I was telling you that most of the people in this world are working for personal sense gratification. Okay. That is called bhoga. But when one works for the satisfaction of the Lord, it becomes yoga. Okay. So yoga and bhoga, the difference is one is keeping themselves in center, and yoga means keeping Lord in the center. Okay. That is the difference between bhoga and yoga. So you can connect to the Lord when you do all your work for the satisfaction of the Lord. And when your intelligence is engaged, intelligence is completely absorbed in how to work for the satisfaction of the Lord, that is called buddhi yoga. Okay. So this is the principle of buddhi yoga. Trying to satisfy not your senses, but the senses of Krishna is called buddhi yoga. Okay. For sense gratification of Krishna, not for sense gratification of your body. Okay. So Prabhupada says that such type of buddhi yoga gives automatically all intelligence, it gives all bliss, and Krishna enhances such intelligence because Krishna from within gives intelligence on how to work for his satisfaction. So when somebody starts engaging their intelligence in serving the Lord, in satisfying the Supreme, then Krishna gives intelligence from within. Krishna further amplifies, further enhances that intelligence from within on how to work for his satisfaction. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a beautiful verse which says, Atmendriya priti vancha tara balikama Krishnendriya priti cha dhare premanama. So that verse says, Atma Indriya Priti Vancha. If you work for the gratification of Atma Indriya, your own senses, Tara Bali Kam, that is called, that is defined as calm or lust. Okay, that is called lust. Krishna Indriya Priti Ichha. But if your desire your desire is to satisfy Krishna's Indriya, Krishna's senses, Krishna Indriya Priti Ichha, Dhare Prem Nam. That is called Prem. That is called love. That is called Bhakti Yoga. So, so devotion, love means to satisfy the senses of the Supreme Lord. No matter how difficult it is, you still engage in that action. You still do that duty with due diligence. So every action, that is why for devotees, the material and spiritual life are not separate. There is no separation between material and spiritual life. This is my material life. This is my spiritual life. No, everything becomes spiritual because everything that they do so for satisfaction of Krishna. They do so for love of Krishna. They do to satisfy his senses, for his to align with his desires, with his will. And so that becomes prem, dhare prem nam. So everything is done for love of Krishna. So this is the concept of buddhi yoga. Prabhupada says working in Krishna consciousness, using your intelligence, engaging your intelligence in this yoga. Going back to the verse, please see. Buddhi yoga tva imam shrinu. Now I will tell you about buddhi yoga. Buddhaya yukto. Yukt means to absorb, to engage your buddhi. So if you engage your intelligence in this way, karma bandham prahasyasi, then all the karma bandhan will be destroyed. You'll be released from all kinds of bondage. Let's just do one or two more verses. This next verse, maybe just one more because this is very important. Okay, this is memory verse. Next time we'll try to memorize this verse, 2.40. Let's recite it 2 or 3 times because this is very important. Neha Bikrama Nasho Asti. Neha Bikrama Nasho Asti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapi asya dharmasya. Swalpamapi asya dharmasya. Trayate mahato bhayat. Trayate mahato bhayat. Let's recite it 2-3 more times. Together we can recite. Everyone. Neha Bikrama Nasho Asti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapi asya dharmasya. Trayate mahato bhayat. Once more. Neha Bikrama
Nashuste
Pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapi asya dharmasya. Trayate mahato bhayat. Just to show you the Sanskrit. So Neha word is coming from na plus iha. Okay, na plus iha. Not, na means not. Iha means in this. Abhikrama means endeavoring. So endeavoring like this. So if you work like this, okay, so Krishna said, work like this. How to work? Work in Buddhi Yoga, engage your intelligence in my service for my satisfaction. If you endeavor, if you make all your efforts like this, Nasho asti, na nasho asti. Working in this way, there will be no nash, there will be no loss. Okay, nash means no loss. Pratyavayo, there will be no diminution either. No diminution. There is no loss or no diminution. If you work like this, there is no loss, no diminution. Okay. Swalpam api asya dharmasya. If you occupy yourself, dharma means occupation. Dharma means a purpose. If your purpose is to satisfy me, if your purpose is to engage in buddhi yoga or bhakti yoga, if that's your occupation, if you engage yourself like this, swalpam api asya dharmasya, even if you do a little bit of this type of effort, trayate mahato bhayat, that will, trayate means deliver you or free you from greatest dangers. Mahato means great, very extraordinary. Bhayat means fears or dangers. So Krishna says, if you work like this, so he already told how to work. Then he said, if you work like this, there is no loss, there is no diminution, there is no loss or diminution. And even a little bit of this occupation, this type of work, even little bit of working like this, trayate mahato bhaya, that will deliver you from greatest dangers, greatest fears of this world. So you will be freed from a lot of dangers, even if you do a little bit of this type of occupation. So थोड़ा भी भगवान के साथ अगर जुड़ोगे, बुद्धि योगा या भक्ति योगा करोगे, little bit of this Krishna consciousness, little bit of this dharma, little bit of this working for the satisfaction of Supreme will deliver you. You never know when this will deliver you from greatest dangers, greatest fears, and there will be no loss or diminution in this. Okay, this is a very, very significant verse. So if somebody does not have any faith in this process, this verse is a very faith-inducing verse actually. So let's read this. Who can read? Let's read the purport and we'll discuss this.
Yes, I can read.
Yes, please go ahead.
In this endure, there is no loss of diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. We have discussed it already. Purport. Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamil performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100% by the grace of God, of the Lord. There is a nice verse in this. Yes.
Yeah, you can skip just read from here.
Okay. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activity perfectly? Or as the Christians say, what profiteth a man is he gain the whole world, yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and their results end with the body, but
Work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to the Krishna consciousness, even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness.
Hari bol.
Hari bol.
So this is a very significant verse. Like I was saying, you can, print this purport and paste it on your wall and read it every day. Highlight the nice lines and read it every day. This will tell you why we are doing what we are doing. We are doing this, why we are engaging in spiritual activities. This is the difference between spiritual and material activities. So let me ask you, when we do some kind of material activity, let's say our boss assigned us something to do. If we don't do it, if we don't complete it, let's say I only did 50% of what he asked me to do, will he praise me? Will he promote me? Will he applaud me, give me an award? Or what will happen? Will I be getting any credit for that work if I did only half of it? Let's say I was supposed to, or if you take any other example, let's say I was supposed to run a race, but I only ran halfway. I didn't reach the completion point. Will I be given a medal? Will I be given the award?
No.
Even if you were just a few steps behind the finishing line, you will not get the award, right?
Yes.
It's very important to reach the finishing line, right? So unless you complete your the project 100% or whatever job was assigned to you, you will not get any credit. You will not get any award. You will not be glorified. In fact, you may be chastised. You may lose your job because you didn't finish it as you were told you were expected to, right? But let's say you finished it. Let's say you did it 100%. Let's say you completed it. You got awards, you got merits and credits, and you were honored and glorified, and now your poster is on the wall. You're the employee of the year, or whatever. Your boss gave you a car as because you brought such big profits to the company. Your boss gave you a car or a bungalow in return. Would you be able to carry that car, that awards, that the posters to your next life?
No.
Definitely not, Mataji.
Okay. And let's say you failed in the next job. What will happen? They may even take it away, right? They may even take it away. Let's forget about next life. Even in this life, if let's say you had that one accomplishment, but then after that you started failing, you started losing, you started, you're not showing up for work, you're not doing it properly. Will they take those things away from you now, right? They may even take those things away. You may lose your job next time. So maybe you did so well, you performed really well the first time. So your performance in this material world matters a lot, right? You have to complete the job 100%. You have to keep doing, you have to keep maintaining a good performance. Otherwise, those credits, those accolades, those awards, accomplishments may be taken away from you. But Prabhupada is saying, or Krishna is saying in this verse, that actually with spiritual work, when you work for Krishna, when Krishna is your boss, when Krishna is your employer, when you work for his satisfaction, he is so merciful that he does not, he gives you credit for whatever amount of Krishna consciousness you did, whatever amount of spiritual work you did. Even if you were not able to complete it, not only you get proper credit for that work, you are able to carry that credit permanently. It's logged in your permanent account, your permanent spiritual bank balance. It's accounted in your permanent spiritual bank balance, and you can keep carrying it forward to your next life also. So any amount of Krishna consciousness, any amount of spiritual work will be carried forward to the future lives for all eternity. It will be enlisted in your account that such and such person did this seva, did this work, did this spiritual activity. Like, let's say you did not read full Bhagavad Gita. Let's say you came for just this one Bhagavad Gita class. But this one Bhagavad Gita class will now be logged in your account that this person came for this class. And you will get eternal credit for this one class, even though you did not read the full Bhagavad Gita, but you came for this class. You attended for 1.5 hours. You were immersed in Krishna consciousness. You were in spiritual consciousness. So you will get credit for that one class permanently. Nobody will say, oh, since they did, Krishna will not say, oh, since they did not read full Bhagavad Gita, I will not give them credit. You will get credit and you will get permanent credit. So then Prabhupada also saying, so one, you get credit. Second, you get permanent credit. Even if you left it incomplete, you will carry it forward. So Prabhupada is saying, if you left it at 1%, next time you will be allowed to continue from 2%. Which does not happen in this material world or with material activities. You have to start again. So for example, if I studied in this life, I studied and I became a doctor, but next life I have to start again. In material world, you have to start all over again from your kindergarten and nursery and KG and first class. You have to start again. This achievement of becoming a lawyer or a teacher or whatever professional you became, that will not be carried forward in next life. So in material world, in material activities, there is loss, because whatever you do, it does not carry forward. It is not permanent. You do not get any permanent credit. Okay, but spiritual activity, whatever you did, even if you left it incomplete, first of all, you get credit for it. Secondly, you get permanent credit. Thirdly, even if you did that work imperfectly, let's say right now you're listening, but you're not completely immersed. You're not completely listening with making notes, but you're just listening. There is still no sin. It's not like you will get any sin for this. But in material world, if you do something inaccurately, imperfectly, you messed up in your job, what will happen? You will be criticized, you will be accused, you will be blamed, you may lose your job. But in spiritual activities, even if you did something inaccurately, incompletely, imperfectly, there is no sin. Krishna will give you credit for making an effort, for having this intention to do that job. So even if you did something imperfect, your performance was imperfect, you will still get the credit. So you will get credit for imperfect performance, you will get credit for incomplete activity, and you will get a permanent credit even if you did not achieve perfection in this life. Prabhupada is saying, let's say you started Krishna consciousness, you started spiritual activities in this life, your intention was to achieve perfection, but for whatever reason you could not continue, you fell down, or you were just very imperfect in your activities, you will get chance in next life. You may be born, you will get opportunities in next life. You will continue from where you left off. You could not achieve 100% perfection of human life. You only got to 10%. So next life you will start from 11%. Krishna will make opportunities. He will create opportunities, like being born in Brahman family. You will come in association of devotees. You will get the knowledge very quickly. You will get services to do, things like that. So he will create opportunities for you to advance from where you left off in your previous life, which we cannot say the same for material activities or material life or material world, because in material world these things have nash, they get destroyed, they get diminished, right? Your reputation, whatever, let's say you did one job perfectly, you may get accolades, but next time when you did not do it properly in material world, there will be you will get disrepute, you will get infamy, the things will be taken away from you, and you will be criticized and blamed and accused and so many things. So, but in spiritual world, because Krishna is your employer, Krishna is your boss, it's very easy to please him. He gives you credit for just having the intention to do a spiritual activity. He gives you credit for trying to perform something, even though you're not very good at it, even though you're doing it very imperfectly, you get the credit. So any amount of Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada and Krishna is saying in this verse that there is no loss, there is no diminution. It will carry forward, have that faith. So we should do these spiritual activities with the faith that these are more important than any material work or any material duties we do in this world. Convert everything to spiritual, make everything into yoga, make everything from bhoga to yoga. Instead of putting yourself in center, start putting Krishna in center for every activity. Whether you are cooking, cook for Krishna. Whether you are reading, read for the satisfaction of Krishna. When you go to your work, do it for satisfaction of Krishna, not just for superficial glories of this world, but do it for Krishna's satisfaction. That Krishna will be happy if I did my due diligence in this world. Consult the guru, sadhu shastra, consult the Paramatma. He will give the intelligence from within on how to do all your work properly and how to align everything that you have been given, all your work, all your relationships, all the resources, all the facilities of human life that have been given to you, all the skill sets, all the talents, how I can align those things in service of Krishna. How can I align my desires with the will, with the desires of Krishna? And that becomes yoga, that becomes buddhi yoga, or that becomes bhakti yoga. So that's the, and there is no loss, and you will get credit for everything if you work in such a way, make all your activities from material to spiritual, from bhoga to yoga. I think we'll stop here because we've exceeded time, but let's take some questions now. This is, like I said, this is a very significant verse, Neha Bikramanashwasti. Please try to memorize, and we'll spend some few minutes in the beginning of class next time to try to memorize this verse. Many verses are coming. Actually, the next one, 2.41, is also very, is a memory verse. 2.44 is a memory verse, but we'll just do 2.40 for next time. Thank you so much for joining. Please share any realizations or any questions, concerns. Sakshi Mataji, did that answer some questions for you? Some of the questions that you had in the beginning, are they answered now?
Yes, it did. But I had a few further questions. Is it okay if I ask?
Yes, Mataji, we're a little bit behind. I apologize, but let's take questions for next 5 minutes, if that's okay.
Okay, I'll make it quick. So when you say that we work for Krishna and everything that we do, we do it for Krishna, right? Karma yoga is what we call it. And we say all our intention, our devotion is towards Krishna. And it's not for any human being or any form of Maya that we see around, but solely for Krishna. So what to ask a question for everyone's behalf on an everyday basis, the things that we do, you are a doctor, I'm a student, someone is a mother, what bhav with what bhav do we have that demotion, what bhav do we do uh, all of these activities and our devotion for Krishna, how we should be feeling, how does it feel like, or rather I should ask that.
Very nice. Yes, Mataji. So, some of the devotees here have been practicing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita for last several years now. So let's ask them how they would answer this, and which bhav have they been working when satisfying Krishna and their loved ones around them. Anyone wants to answer this for Mataji? Sheetal Mataji, would you like to try?
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I can speak for myself, and I'm still like a struggling sadhaka. Yes, that we want to do it with love and devotion. That is the consciousness that we want to develop, the Krishna prem towards, or we want to get the Krishna prem. But yeah, it's with mindfulness, thoughtfulness, whatever small or big activity that one is engaging in, keeping Krishna in the center. That is how I go about doing my activities, Mataji. That is all I can say. But as far as like any particular bhav, it's kind of difficult, but just with a good intention, thoughtfulness, and trying to put your mind and attention, at least attempting to do that.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice. So
Yes,
yes.
Mataji, I wanted to tell something. Like, I know all the duties, like as a mother or as a housewife, I'm doing. I used to be get frustrated. Why I'm doing the same thing and again and again. But now, what happened when I'm doing? If I get mad or something, I just feel like no, the Krishna blesses me. With this all, the family. He gave me. So he gave me this duty, and I have to do it. So what happened? That sometime if I'm angry, it just I cool it down because I know no, this is Krishna's gave me duty, and I have to perform it well. So no, I cannot be angry because it's not for me. It's not like if I'm not happy, still I have to do it because Krishna gave me this duty. And when I'm cooking, so we all eat onion and garlic. So now I keep in my mind, okay, if I make something in onion and garlic, I cannot offer to Krishna. So, and I feel like, okay, then my Krishna will be hungry, If, well, maybe I will eat it, but he will not. So, still we eat out, then we will eat sometime onion and garlic, but it still it's in mind all the time. So it's like, it's pulling me more on that way, okay, you should not do it, because it's like maybe the Krishna is not getting a food, he's getting a food, but it's just still come in a mind. So that's kind of mindset is changing. That's I see, and I feel like much better on that part.
Very nice. Yes, Mataji. Thank you for both of you for sharing. Okay, I'll just Mataji's both of them shared already. But Mataji, this is a gradual process. That's why it's called Krishna consciousness, meaning you have to keep bringing Krishna in your consciousness, in your awareness. Okay, this is a gradual shift. That's why we try to enhance as much spiritual activities as possible in our life, so that whatever work we do, Krishna will automatically come to our mind. For example, we chant holy names every day a certain number of times. Okay, so that puts us in this consciousness that changes our consciousness from materialistic, from keeping myself in center, to keeping Krishna in center, like I was saying, from bhoga to yoga. Okay, so chanting is a very good way to do that. Eating prasadam is a very good way to gradually shift your consciousness from material to spiritual. Associating with devotees, reading books, just like we're reading Bhagavad Gita right now, immersing yourself in the words of Krishna, hearing from devotees, hearing from pure devotees, especially, very important in changing your consciousness from material to spiritual. So those are some ways you can gradually shift your consciousness. It will take time. Whatever work we are doing initially, it would feel like feels like I'm still doing it for myself, but you will see that actually there is this, Mataji was saying, this mentality is shifting, where now I'm cooking, I'm primarily cooking for Krishna, and it has come to my mind now that these dependents of mine, like my children or my husband, they have been given to me as a blessing of Krishna. They're blessings of Krishna. I'm their caregiver. They are dependent on me, and I have to take best care of them as Krishna's devotees. Okay, they are devotees of Krishna. They are they're first and foremost, they're part and parcel of Krishna. They don't belong to me. They belong to Krishna. So I have to take care of them as I would take care of, let's say, making this up, but Narendra Modi gives his daughter to you. I don't think he has kids, but if he gives his daughter to you to take care for 2 days, you will be taking best care of her, because you want her to go and tell tell Narendra Modi that, hey, this girl took really great care of me. So you're going to really take good care of her. Always keeping in mind that I'm trying to satisfy Modi because she belongs to him. Similarly, you're taking care of your dependents in such a way that they first and foremost belong to Krishna. So I'm going to take best care of them. I'm going to feed them the best food possible. What is the best food possible? Prasadam. So I'm going to prepare it with proper consciousness, with love, put my heart and emotions in it, and don't feed them anything that's tamasic, that's against scriptures, that Krishna does not recommend. I want them to be connected to Krishna as well, right? So I'm going to do my best by them. So this is called Krishna consciousness. This is called spiritual consciousness. This is called Vaishnav, advanced Vaishnav consciousness. Okay. So this slowly develops by engaging in more and more spiritual activity. Similarly, when you go to work, now when I go to work, my mentality has completely changed. Like Mataji was sharing, you don't get frustrated very quickly. You're very patient. All these divine qualities comes within you, right? Because Krishna also reciprocates. When you are attempting to enhance your spiritual consciousness, Krishna reciprocates. He will decrease all your negative qualities and he will enhance your divine qualities. So now when I'm looking at a patient, this is somebody that has been sent to me by Krishna, because Krishna wants me to take proper care of them. So now they're not somebody that is going to, is a money making person, resource for me. This is not some business for me. This medicine is not just a business for me, okay, that I have to draw more and more business for my practice or anything like that. This is a person that I have to take good care of, because Krishna will be pleased. They're part and parcel of Krishna. I want them to feel good. I want their body to become better. I want their emotions, their mind, their body to feel really strong. And I'm an instrument of Krishna. I will work as an instrument of Krishna. So if they're angry, if they're upset, if they're acting in a very entitled way, I do not get upset very quickly. I do not get very, short-tempered or very frustrated with anybody. You develop patience and tolerance, and you develop all these loving divine qualities within you. And this whole process is called Krishna consciousness. So at all times, when you are doing your work, when you are at home, when you are with community, when you're with friends, when you are whatever you are doing, eating, you are conscious of Krishna, because you have developed this advanced spiritual understanding that I am first and foremost part and parcel of Krishna, and my duty is to please him, to satisfy him. So with everything that you do, you try to satisfy him. So this will happen very gradually, but it will happen. You just follow the process, trust the process, and follow it. Does that answer some stuff for you, Mataji?
Yes, it does. Definitely. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your experience. This really helps. And I'm going to go real quick with the next one. So, real quick. So, just a for instance example, I have my duty towards my partner, my children, and everyone at home. But at the same time, we work at a workplace, and our boss has some expectations from us, and we do all of our duties right now in Krishna's name, right? In Krishna's devotion. So everything that we do is in Krishna's devotion. Whether I work for my boss, uh, I do, whatever I do for work is devotion. Whatever I do at home is devotion. And one day, if my boss says that, okay, I need you for an hour more, but I have to feed my dog home, right? And that's my duty as well, to feed him. How do we deal with a situation like this? How do we, set those boundaries and still be devoted in such a scenario?
So yes, Madhuri, it's a very practical question. So there will be a lot of, like, not just this one, thanks for mentioning this one situation, but not just this one situation, but in your daily life, actually there will be a lot of tussles, a lot of such situations in at workplace and family, where you will have to draw boundaries, where you will have to discriminate. You have to use what this is called vivek buddhi, okay, or discriminatory intelligence. You have to use your discrimination, god given intelligence, on what is best to do between two situations. This is what Arjun is doing, right? He's trapped between two dharmas, but one will always be a higher dharma, one will always be a lower dharma. You have to try to choose higher dharma. The more you are connected to Krishna on a daily basis, okay, you will get this intelligence from within. That's what I was saying, 10.10 that Prabhupada has quoted. Prabhupada says, oh sorry, Krishna says, Tesham satat yuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upayantite. So which means, this is Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. Tesham satat yuktanam, those that are always engaged in my service, bhajtam priti purvakam, that do my devotional service, my service with love, okay, priti purvakam, dadami buddhi yogam tam, I give them intelligence, yen mam upayantite, with which they can come to me, meaning with which they can satisfy me. So when there is a conflict between two dharmas, I'm not taking your specific situation, because you have to decide. Again, I'm just giving you the principle. Bhagavad Gita, you have to understand, Bhagavad Gita gives principles. Okay, Bhagavad Gita is not going to give you ki, just like you have a question, should I move to Philadelphia or New Jersey? So you, okay, everybody says all the answers are in Bhagavad Gita. So let me open a page and see where does it say that Natasha Gupta should move to Philadelphia versus it doesn't give me that answer. So this is not the right book. That's not how Bhagavad Gita works. Bhagavad Gita gives you the principles on what you should do. Where you can best serve Krishna is the principle. Okay. Bhagavad Gita gives us this principle that we should try to be engaged in best possible service of Krishna. So when you have conflict or tussle between two dharmas, you have to decide which dharma will better serve Krishna. In which way can I be best used in the service of Krishna? I'm a tool in Krishna's hand. I'm an instrument. Krishna is the writer. I'm his pen. Whether this pen should write a poem or an essay, or should write on this page or this page, is up to Krishna. So I should consult Krishna. Krishna will give me that discrimination on which page to write and what to write. So when you have this tussle, if you're on a daily basis engaged in spiritual activities, you're engaging with Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, you will understand what is the higher dharma. Higher dharma is the one where your skill set, your particular tendencies will be best engaged in the service of Krishna. So in your situation, for example, you know that let's say your um, boss asked you to do this work for an hour extra. You are the only person who's trained to do that work, and if you did not do this work, it will lead to a lot of loss for the business. Okay, it will cause a lot of problems for the for your job. Okay, for your work, for your boss. So, and meanwhile, you have some arrangement to feed your dog. You have a friend that can get inside and feed the dog, okay? Or the dog is at a pet care or something. So then the higher dharma here is to do the job at work, because that will satisfy your boss, because there is a lot at stake, right? There is a lot at stake, and you are the only person who's qualified to do this. So maybe you should stay and put in this extra work, because this will be more beneficial, will be pleasing. And the other thing, you can manage, a dog can be managed by with the help of a friend or something, or you know that you left some food and water for them anyway, so they'll be okay for another hour. So you have to use your discrimination. But now let's say the situation is such that there are a lot of people around, the boss is just exploitative, boss is just very mean, they just want to keep you at work to get back at you, and they've been doing this a lot lately, and you're getting frustrated. Maybe it's time to have a conversation with the boss and try to create some boundaries where you say that, hey, I have some dependents that I have to take care of. I need to be out of work. I'll do my best work till 5 o'clock, but then I have to leave because I have other engagements, I have other responsibilities, which are very equally important. And if I do not take care of those, I cannot do my best at work either. So you may have to draw some boundaries. So you have to use your discrimination in these daily, day-to-day type of tussles, and they will be there all the time, between people, between communities, between relationships, between family members, at workplace. You will have to make this decision. So Bhagavad Gita will give you the principles on how to make these decisions in day-to-day life. It will not give you the exact your scenario. It will not give you your scenario, but you will use the principles, the sutras. Principle is called sutra in Sanskrit. You will use the sutras of Bhagavad Gita to solve your problems in such a way that you can serve Krishna the best. So this is the and then sometimes situation, this is like you mentioned, a little bit of a daily type of tussle, but then sometimes the situations are very complex. Actually, there are very complicated, like very intimate relationships involved, where there is a lot of guidance needed. Then in that case, you have to seek guidance of the senior advanced spiritualist. We recommend taking guidance from somebody who's advanced in spiritual knowledge, who knows you well, who knows your situation well, and who is your well-wisher. Don't just go to any friend or any family member who may be very materially motivated and will give you a short-term vision. When you have complicated decisions to make, just like in case of Arjun, as you see, the principle is Arjun went to his friend Krishna, who is his well-wisher and who is very advanced in spiritual knowledge, and who will show him not the short-term vision, but the long-term vision. Okay. So in your situation, let's say boss is asking this for one time. He's a very wonderful boss to work for. He's amazing. And you are the only person who can help this. And there is somebody else to take care of dog. It's behooves well for you, and you may be causing a lot of loss for the company. So it behooves well. It will satisfy Krishna that you put in that extra hours. In this way, you can get guidance from some spiritually advanced person for complicated situations.
I
That's how
understand.
it
Thank
is.
you so much for answering that question. It's very clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, for joining. Please keep joining, and you will see Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful book, has many principles that will be helpful in daily life, and most importantly for our spiritual progress. Just have faith in the process and stay connected. It's slow, but it's very tangible results will be seen. You will see.
It may be slow, but it's the most satisfying process. So, yeah, I love it.
Thank you, Mataji. So we'll stop because we've exceeded time quite a bit. Thank you so much for joining. Vanchakaltarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah gurve gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaya krishnaya krishna bhaktaya tad bhaktaya namo namah. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.